Ian, welcome along. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hey Chantal, great to see you again.
So today we're going to dive into Keepme, and you're here to tell us a little bit more about the business and about the service and who Keepme is actually for. So to get things started today, do you want to give us a brief 60-second overview about Keepme?
Sure. So Keepme is an AI-powered marketing platform that was built for the ground up for the fitness industry. It uses machine learning to teach itself about your business, and then having done so, it can help you throughout the entire membership life cycle by providing actionable insights as well as engagement tools to ensure that you are capable of being able to improve your retention, improve your acquisition, and also increase secondary spend or non-dues revenue as such.
So, Ian, give us a bit of an indication of who Keepme is best suited for. What type of business size, what type of business model do you generally work with?
All types, really. I think from large single site operators to ones with hundreds of sites in many different countries. And the type of operator that we work with are generally ones that have been in operation for a number of years. I would suggest that anyone with less than 2 years operation would probably not benefit too much from our services, but any otherwise. And then apart from that, there really isn't no limitation. I mean, we've got some very large integrated athletics clubs in the United States that would have everything from racket sports to F&B to fitness and gym, down to their more boutique operators. So, a wide variety, quite frankly.
So let's take a look at that in a little bit more detail, because I would love to maybe hear a case study of a business that you've worked with before, and perhaps you can share a bit of a picture for us of what that business looked like before they started using Keepme and the results that they got from working with the business.
An example that comes to mind, which I'll be able to even share a video in the very near future, as we're just finishing a testimonial with this particular customer. So this was an operator based in Australia. They've always had a good behaviors around their data overall. But what they needed, what they felt was lacking, was a tool that was allowing them to utilize this data to take action to the benefit of the business. It's not an exaggeration because it's something that will come through in the video, but they have been utilizing the platform for 6 months. Their performance financially over the last 6 months has surpassed the previous 5 years. And in December, when they actually ran a campaign to be able to target specific members utilizing the AI intelligence they were receiving from Keepme, they actually enjoyed their best ever month for that particular site. And that's generally what Keepme is doing. So Keepme is effectively learning from the data that exists in your business to be able to provide you insights that allow you to take intelligent action in a hyper-personalized way. Now, by all means, I can explain how that actually happens. But from a business operation perspective, it removes the doubt in what we're doing in the engagements and ensures that we are doing the right engagement at the right time with the right type, which I think we'd all agree is always going to help the overall campaign performance.
Absolutely. And I am going to ask you to go into that detail because I would love to hear exactly how it is that you're using that data. If you can go into that level of detail, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm also interested to understand some examples of the type of data that you're collecting and using.
Okay, good questions. So the first one, let's talk about the actual type of data. The data we use is the data that we have in all of our businesses. Predominantly, it resides in the member management system. So it is actually the member data itself. And it's within that data, we're obviously going to have the age, the gender, the join date, any activity around attendance, any purchases, etc. Now, what we utilize something called machine learning. We use a particular methodology called random forest. And what happens is that Keepme brings in all of your data, historical, and then teaches itself. Now, the way it does this is, I'm not sure if anyone would remember or has seen recently decision trees, where you start with a variable and it moves to yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, all the way down to an actual outcome at the bottom. Now, Keepme will take each one of the individual data items. It is not worried about human bias. It does not care for human expertise. It will look at every single possible combination of data to come to the outcomes it's looking to predict. Now, to give you an idea, 45 data items, which is a relatively small sum, virtually every operator in the world would have that. Keepme would generate 8.8 million decision trees. Now, not one of these trees is statistically significant, but when you bring together 8.8 million trees, you are provided with a phenomenally accurate prediction around the particular result that you're looking to do. And this is why we are in a situation now where operators on Keepme can see now in March the members that will not be with them in January next year with an incredibly high degree of probability. Now, if you went and asked one of those members who just joined in January, I think you were mad, right? I mean, quite frankly, they've just joined. But in the data, there is the signal. And that signal, when taken with an operator that's looking to find the members as early as possible, provides them in a retention context with an incredible opportunity to influence the member journey to the outcome that they're looking for, rather than the more traditional way, which is to look at what's occurred in the last 60 days. Is that member leaving us in December? Well, have they attended in the previous 30 days? No, probably will leave us. Let's reach out. That does not result in a statistical or a significant improvement in any shape or form. But in this particular area here, by utilizing this AI, we can provide a very clear indication of all of their behaviors at a very early stage, giving you a timeline to actually do something about it.
That is such a great example, Ian. And earlier when you shared with us the case study of Troy Morgan's business, Willow's Health Clubs, you mentioned that they already had quite a large volume of data available to them. If I'm a club operator and perhaps in the past I haven't been collecting a huge amount of data, or I've only started recently, are you able to work with that operator over a period of time to get them to a similar point where they can really use that intelligent data?
One of the questions I get most regularly is, or statements I get, is that our data is incomplete, or we acquired a business that didn't have the same disciplines around data collection, or there's no consistency in our data. In the last few years, as artificial intelligence and machine learning has gathered speed, and I think we'd all agree now it's everywhere, not only have the algorithms and the tools for building the models improved, but there's a great deal of tools available to professionals like ourselves to actually assist in the data. So when we receive an incomplete data set, 2 years ago, that may have been a reason why there would not be a possibility to continue a project. Now that's just not the case. An incomplete data set is something which we can very easily work with. And indeed, one of the byproducts for all of our customers that work with us is that we generally return a clean data set to them to bring back into their platform. And that's been a benefit which they've all enjoyed, because we've been able to fill the gaps that they've got, tie things up, change things, standardize things, because we have to do that before we move it into the model. So with very few exceptions, and an exception would be if it's all paper-based, but with very few exceptions, currently the data that you hold, as long as it is beyond 12 months worth of data, has a high probability of being predictable and therefore can be integrated into the models that we have at Keepme.
Thank you so much for going into that, Ian. So if we were to say that incomplete data, or perhaps unclean data, is one of the challenges that a club owner or operator might come to you with, are there any other challenges that you find that you're faced with that you can work with an operator to overcome?
I think that one of the major challenges a lot of operators have is that when they see the level of insights that they can take out of Keepme, when they can see the many opportunities that are then presented for them to take action, it can be prioritization And in a way, what the team is becoming increasingly important, one of the most increasingly important things that we deliver, is also helping the operator to prioritize where they probably would like to start. In most cases, there are existing member journeys. There are existing processes in place around acquisition, referrals, marketing, all of the key areas of the particular revenue part of a business. However, when the new insights come, these can turn some of them inside and out, because the understanding that the business operated on can be somewhat changed when the new insights become available. So when an implementation from Keepme from start through to finish is only a matter of 4 weeks. So from the moment we take access to the data to 4 weeks later, the entire insights and models are available to the customer. And then what we will do over the next few weeks is work with them in helping them to understand the data that they're seeing, and then maybe making some changes to the way it's presented to make it more relevant to their business, because each and every single customer gets to see their data the way they want to see it, because they are unique businesses. And then we will start to put in place some of the automations in engagement aspects and build some campaigns with them so that they are starting to see the actual benefits of the Keepme working with the insights it's got, taking action, and then driving the results that the customers would expect or they expect and would need to see.
Ian, so now that we have such a thorough understanding about the business overall, can you tell us a little bit about your team and about the countries that you operate in?
So we have a team that stretches across 6 countries so that we can make sure that we can provide the service and support that customers require on an ongoing basis. So you're going to find us in the UK, you're going to find us in the United States, you'll find us in Spain, you'll find us in Singapore, and you'll find us in Australia. They are the main countries where we operate from a customer support perspective, but we have additional engineering teams and data science teams as well. The team itself is very experienced, and there are quite a few of us with over a decade experience, either as owner or GM operators of businesses ourselves. And there is well above 60 years of AI experience within the business, as well as hundreds of years of engineering and software as a service type experience. So a very capable team, which is why I believe that we have enjoyed the success that we have done since we launched in January 2019. You'll now find us with customers in 8 countries. And you know, the customers themselves, they range from the likes of a multi-site operator in the US, like California Family Fitness, to 10 Health and Fitness, a boutique operator in the UK, to SmartFit, which is based in Spain. And then down in Australia, you know, we've got the likes of Willows, as we've talked about. We've got Virgin Active, and we've got new ones such as Crank in Dubai and the UAE, and a very recent one again was New You, which is actually based in Saudi Arabia. So a very broad mix of customers across a lot of geographies, which means that we've got a great deal of experience when it comes to the integration of the platform, something we take sole responsibility for when it comes to the implementations of Keepme, as well as now a great deal of understanding of the best practices that exist across these countries, and an understanding of the type of results you would expect to see to be able to benchmark yourself on whether you're doing a good or not so good job.
And what an incredible amount of experience amongst your team members as well, which just speaks volumes for the business and for the customer experience that people have to be able to work with people that have had so much time in the industry and in the business. So, Ian, let's have a bit of a chat about developments and innovations. Have you got any news, anything that we should know about that's coming up in 2020?
Yeah, so we're working on a few at the moment. I mean, fundamentally, what Keepme about is using AI and your data to provide you highly accurate predictions. So one of the areas which is critical, which we would all agree, particularly with increased competition and increased acquisition cost, is to drive non-dues revenue from our existing memberships. Now, let's look at an example. So say, for instance, we wanted to have the ability to push a particular area, maybe class packs, maybe PT, but let's use PT as an example. Maybe we were going to put together an offer for 10 sessions, and those 10 sessions we would push out to all of the membership and at a special price maybe. Now, Keepme does things differently. Keepme takes a look at my membership, and first of all, it segments the ones with the high probability of purchasing from the ones that will not or are unlikely to purchase. So that guarantees first and foremost that I'm engaging with people who probably want to be engaged with me in the first place. But it also makes sure we don't leave money on the table. And what I mean by that is, I, for instance, may want to take PT, but a 10-pack is beyond where I'm prepared to go. Whereby you, Chantal, may be more than happy to purchase those 10 packs because you will always purchase pre any offer that comes through because you consistently expect to be doing PT. Whereby another one of the members may never have had any experience whatsoever of PT, and on that basis, it doesn't matter what they're offered, 5, 10 or 15 or 20, they're not likely to take it. Keepme sees this, and it makes sure that not only does it identify the members that will purchase, but know to serve me a 5-pack, know to serve you a 20-pack, and know to serve that other member a single introductory session to PT. Now that's great because now not only have we found the members most likely to engage with us, but we've also made sure that we have tailored the commercial offer to them to have the highest probability of acceptance. But when you marry it to automation, it gets even smarter because not only does Keepme look for these members every hour of every single day to serve them to, it makes sure that when it serves to myself, that I am given a visual as part of the actual communication, which is gender relevant, age relevant, and maybe even topic relevant. So it can customize the actual offer to the individual member, not only in content, but in value proposition, commercial proposition. This has been the reason why a number of our customers that are early stage with utilizing this have had such phenomenal results. And indeed, in one case, have seen their business increase by 30% in 1 month. And in a way, it is common sense because we are providing to customers who would likely want to have a commercial offer that was tailored to what they would most likely purchase within that area. So it shouldn't be a surprise, but when it's done and it's done automatically and it's happening 24 hours a day, 7 days a week without the need for human intervention at scale and personalized, I think we can understand the benefits that's likely to bring, and we'll be able to utilize that across all areas. Membership upsells, a good example of a particular one. Renewal campaigns, another aspect of it. Bring this intelligence in, bring this automation in, and bring this hyper-personalization in. And what you are doing is providing communication and engagement to our members at a level of scale and accuracy and consistency, which is only ever going to be something that's going to benefit the business.
And it is just incredible to imagine what is possible for our fitness business, and the explanation that you just gave to us provided me with complete clarity of how Keepme works and how Keepme can actually benefit business operators out there. It's just incredible to think of what is possible. So thank you for going into that level of detail with us, and it's exciting to think of what is possible these days, as you say, so far beyond human intervention, and the fact that this is automated and it's intelligent and it's working with our customer data is just an incredible solution that's available to operators right across the world. So the all-important question to finish up on today, for people that have been watching our video, they're intrigued to know more and they're really keen to find out how they can work with the team at Keepme, what's the best way for them to get in contact with you?
The website, I hope, will certainly service some of that requirement at keepme.ai. You will find the ability to actually book an appointment with the team at any stage so that they've got the opportunity to learn more about your business, as well as show you what Keepme can actually deal with. We are starting the process of moving case studies on there, and we've got a very active blog where we try to discuss and show some best practices and some of the lessons that we've learned as well. So I would say that's the primary way to get through. Myself personally, I am Ian at Keepme.ai, and I would be more than happy to have engagements with people interested in Keepme or interested or in the debate around artificial intelligence and sharing any ideas where they feel the utilization of AI and prediction technology could benefit the fitness industry, because we certainly want to participate in that.
Absolutely brilliant, Ian. Thank you so much. I've thoroughly enjoyed our conversation today. I'm definitely walking away with my best understanding of Keepme, and I think all of the FBP family will now, and will really appreciate just what is possible for their fitness business. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chantal. I've enjoyed it.